Okay. So I've been watching a lot of, or as I be scrolling, and sometimes I'll be watching reaction videos. I see a lot of people talking about 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week is not enough work. Period. If you are single and childless, you need to be working. And I hate to be this type of person. Minimum 60 hours a week. If you want to be above average, not extraordinary, above average, you need to be working 80 hours a week. I'm not saying do this for 10 years. You need to do it until you get to one of the benchmark 10, 15, 20, 25. I think those are the benchmarks for like savings. Like save up your first 10, aim for 15, aim for 20, aim for 25. And once you get that 25, and I know I'm saying like, okay, man, how can you get, again, your 40 hours is not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. And I'm not saying like you got to work 60, 80 hours for years. Maybe like 6 months, maybe a year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might need to tap into your, inner self for a year to get that done. Because you got to get enough money to work alongside you and to ease that stress of like, because I don't necessarily like, one of the reasons that I did work a lot, like here, like, in recent times, is because when I work, like going to work now, it's like I'm doing it from a position of power. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about the next, honestly, like I just think to myself, if I miss the rest of this year is fine. Not even exaggerating, you know what I'm saying? If I just something terrible, the whole rest of the year is pretty much good to go. Easy. I still wouldn't even be tapping into real reserves. You know what I'm saying? And that allows me to make every decision from a position of power. If I want to do overtime, I'm not doing it from a position of scarcity where I'm like, man, I need to do something extra. I don't know how I don't need to do that. Because I worked more than 40 hours. Like you're just not going to get there with 40 hours a week. Like, I don't know where this whole you should be able to pay all your bills off 40 hours. I don't know who came up with that. I don't know why that's even a thing. Like, you're going to, like, if you're going to have to work more than 40 hours a week if you want to get ahead, stay ahead, make ahead your permanent position. Because while you're working that 60 to 80 hours, I'm not even gonna go over 80. I'm gonna just say if you could just average 70, 80 or 60 to 80, that's good to go if you're single and childless. If you got like one kid, I say 70, 80. I say 70, 80 because you gotta be putting, you cannot make decisions from a need to be at someone else's job. Like, I don't even like that mindset anymore. Because what if you lose the job? Then what? It's like you lose the job and now you're in a position where let's just say you got to get a new job. That first week, you get half a paycheck because you got to get to the next pay cycle. It could be a bi-weekly. It's like, why are you putting yourself under unnecessary stress by even being at the paycheck to paycheck, like being in the paycheck to paycheck cycle? Grind. If you grind long enough, you can get yourself out of the paycheck to pay. It's a cycle that people are choosing to be in. Not everyone. I'm going to go on and say 80%. 20% life is really happening to people and stuff is out of their control. That's 100% fair. But 80%, You're not, 40 hours a week is not gonna cut it. 45, it's not gonna cut it. Like if you say, oh man, I did for 45, it's not gonna cut it. 50, no. 60 to 80 is how you're going to put yourself in a position where you're not, I'm not talking about emergency savings neither. I'm talking about money to where this is like not FU money. This isn't FU money. This is money where you can make, like J.L. Collins talks about having money to where he wanted to go do something and he went there and didn't know he was in a position of power. And that's what I'm kind of trying to get at. Like, I got enough money saved up to pay every single bill for the rest of the year and cover like major like emergencies, major. And I would be okay. I would not be going like into the reserves. You see what I'm saying? Because I didn't brought all of my bills low. So that where it's just like, again, I don't have to, you know, I'm so far below my means that 60 to 80 hours I was doing, it put me very far ahead. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about like my living situation. Like I do got a house. You know, I mean, I rent a house. I prefer houses over apartments personally. And again, like a lot of people talk about rent, and I just don't like apartments. So, you know, I'm gonna talk about that in another video, but again, 40 hours a week is not gonna cut it. It's just like, I understand that people want, but 40 hours is really not that much time. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, like, let's just say you got to go to save X, Y, and Z, X amount of money by this time. If you work more, you'll get there quicker. You know what I'm saying? And also, I want to throw this in there too. Once you working at 60 to 80 hours, let's just say you do get that to be your average, don't build your situation around overtime. If someone got to this like part in the video, this is a real gem right here. If you making, let's just say regular 40 hours, you making $1,000, right? And with 60 hours, you making $1,500. And with another full 40 hours, you close to $2,000. Don't build your life around $2,000 every 2 weeks or a week or however you get paid. Don't do that. That's the number one thing I can see people doing. They start working overtime. They've been grinding for 4, 5, 6 months straight, getting that overtime. Now they done went and bought something, but the only way to maintain it is if they continue to get overtime. That's not guaranteed. You need to build your monthly expenses around the lowest paycheck you can get. I know a lot of people, like I said, if you made it to this far in the video, that's a gem right there. So you need to, like, let's just say, you know, it's 6 months in a year. You need to find the lowest amount of money you made in the first 6 months of the year, and you need to try to make it to where you living below your means with that check. Not overtime checks. Those need to be completely invested and put away. You should not be using overtime checks to live at all, because that's the grind money. Why are you spending grind money? Why would you do that? That's money to give you a position of power on the chessboard. You don't want to be making decisions where, again, I need to do an extra 10 hours because what if it's not there? Now you didn't build your life around something that you don't got control. Like you counting money that's clearly not in your pockets because you got to work for it. So, you know, like I said, I'm gonna title this one 40 hours a week is not enough. It's not enough. You know, I don't necessarily know, you know, like I said, I'm just talking to the people who want to be above average with this one. Like 40 hours a week, it's not going to cut it. If you can't get more than 40 hours a week at your job, if you can't get more than 40, get a part-time job. I don't like part-time job. I'm a big, you know, supporter to getting a higher paying job, to stay with one job and just try to find someone some overtime. But if you can't get that at your first job, just get a little part-time job. You ain't got to do it forever. Just do it until you can get enough money. Again, 10, 15, 20, and 25. 25, I think that's where everyone can kind of take a step back and say, okay, cool. What's going to be my next move now? Anyone can do that with that. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that. Anyone. And basically, again, in any situation that's not super unheard of, like if you just got a rent, phone, paid off car, low car insurance, phone bill, whatever, you got to feed yourself. If you just doing that, 25 going to put you in the game. It's going to put you in the game as far as being able to acquire a new skill, be able to sit back, chill a little bit. I'm just saying, like, it gives you perspective to say, okay, I'm at work, but I got this. So, worst come worst, I'm good. So I'm gonna upload this video tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like 40 hours a week ain't enough. Straight like that. Like, that's all I'm gonna do with that one. Like, hope y'all enjoyed the video.